BalconyTV.
G'day guys, welcome to BalconyTV Melbourne. I'm here with Don Mcglashan. How's it going, Don?
Very good. How are you?
Magic. Great to have you on the show.
Cool.
And you've just arrived from the airport.
Yeah, they lost my guitar. I think the Sydney baggage handlers had to have a really good jam on it.
Yeah.
And they had to bring luthiers that they knew.
Was it in an open G when you got it?
It was an open G. Very Sydney tuning.
Yeah. What song are you gonna play?
There's a song called "A Man and a Woman," which is an old front lawn song, and it's kind of special for Melbourne because we wrote it in Melbourne, and we were doing the Melbourne Comedy Festival. I think we were playing at La Joke or The Last Laugh or something. Yeah. And we went away to a beach somewhere. Is there a beach near Melbourne somewhere? Not.
There's a few beaches there.
Not that one, but like a long way away. And we just wrote a bunch of songs, and this was one of them, "A Man and a Woman," and it was so it's always. And then we came back and we recorded it in a recording studio here in Melbourne, and it's kind of the first front lawn recording.
Magic. Let's hear it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a pre-record horn. This is high tech. Eugene said they be driving up last night, but the car's not there. That's strange. Why don't we take these things around the back? Maybe drop in later to thank him. You really should meet him. Oh, look, there's a window open. Look, there's a curtain blowing. I wonder who left it like that. But wait a minute, a man and a woman, a woman and a man. Look at them lying there, sleeping in each other's arms. Oh, don't wake them up, leave them sleeping. Oh, don't wake them up, don't let them know we've seen them. Don't say a word to anyone, 'cause that's Sarah there. That's Eugene's wife, but that's not Eugene. Oh, oh, oh. It's none of our business. Look, sometimes people just have to tangle up their lives. Whoa, whoa, man, a woman and a man. Look at them lying there, sleeping in each other's arms. Oh, don't wake them up, leave them sleeping. Oh, don't wake them up. They look just like a picture. Don't try to tell me that it's wrong. Sure, Eugene's my friend, but he doesn't have to know, so let's just go now. Oh, oh.
Thanks, Don. Great stuff. So, I think I saw your last show, and there it is.
Still there.
I think I saw your last show in Melbourne at Northcote Social Club.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago now, was it?
Yes, yeah, 2009.
Yeah, I think it was early in my time here, but I guess in that time in between, reflecting on that, now that you're back, it seems like your career's been in a pretty good place.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, career's a strange word for.
Your
I
music.
like to call it my career. I'm not sure if it. It's actually. I mean, in that past couple of years, I guess I've done a lot of gigs. I've done a lot of overseas touring. I've done some solo gigs in London and New York. Just recently, I've just come back actually from a stint, 2 gigs in London, 2 gigs in New York, and a gig in Seattle. And lots of regional touring around New Zealand, and the way my life normally runs, a few film soundtracks as well. And lately as well, I'm sort of embroiled in this whole thing, which is all these deadlines sort of hit on the 9th of September when the Rugby World Cup starts. I didn't want to be involved in it at all. I'm not really a rugby fan, which is, I can say that outside New Zealand without fear of being attacked. But something fell in my lap. I'm supposed to be doing this fireworks music, this big piece of fireworks music for the opening night, for the Auckland Harbour's going to go off. So
you're right involved now.
I'm desperately, when I go home from this, I'm going to be sitting on my laptop trying to write orchestral music.
Yeah, and as you say, you've been making a real effort to get to Australia, get to the US, Europe, and sort of keep sort of each year doing little tours. Is the main focus there to keep in touch with old fans, or are you still fired up to reach new ones?
I think it's got to be both. I mean, what I'm noticing is, like when I go back to England, there's a bunch of people who were with us during the Mutton Birds time there, and there's a bunch of new people. There's still kind of UK magazines that feature new songs that I've written. So, and the same thing's happening in the States a little bit to a lesser degree. Australia's a bit harder. It's interesting actually. Australia's a lot of New Zealanders completely overlook Australia because I think some indie bands in the 80s and 90s came here and had a bad time and went home and left cave drawings on the walls of their flats, sort of with tales of a mythological land to the west with people by savages with big hair who liked bad blues rock. But I think that's very unfair, and I think New Zealanders should come and share our music with Australians as much as we can.
Absolutely, I think I've personally noticed that there's a bit of a missing link there, and it'd be nice to see it sort of built a bit stronger, considering the countries can help each other out a lot with their music. So, in terms of New Zealand base and doing the thing of touring a bit there and then going overseas every now and then, is that ideal for you? Like you've lived overseas with the Mutton Birds back in the day, and do you ever think about living elsewhere out of New Zealand again, or is that a perfect sort of situation at the moment?
Well, I love living in New Zealand, but I've got my kids are at the stage now where they're sort of huge teenagers and they're sort of starting to make noises about leaving home. So at that point, I'll be a bit freer and relocating's a sort of a possibility. Yeah. But what I'd really love to do is to come to Australia a bit more often and to bring the band in ones and twos. I've got a band now that's a 6-piece, and it would be wonderful to. They're really modular. I could just bring one accordion player and fiddle player, or I could bring a couple of people, or I could bring the whole band. So I'd love to start sort of doing that incrementally.
Oh, would be stoked with that. And I guess being a Kiwi myself, I know that you've had many accolades over the years, and I guess everyone sort of starts out looking for or dreaming of the big hits and all these kind of things. Yeah. As someone who's gone through a bit of that, do you sort of have your priorities changed in terms of what you want from music? From Mutton Bird days, Blam Blam Blam, like do you sort of hope for different things when you release an album, when you go on tour? And
not really. My reason for doing this was always to write the best songs I could, make the best records I could, do the best live shows I could, and hopefully either give people a live experience that they'd remember for a long time, or make a record that people wouldn't be ashamed of in 10 years. Yeah. And And I don't think my priorities have changed at all. I mean, the music industry has changed in that there's a lot of disintegration now, and things which seemed to be career suicide a while ago.
Yeah.
Now aren't like that. I mean, I can say to a manager, I want to do a whole regional tour of North Island towns in New Zealand, and I want to only play towns where the gig's about 40 people, you know. And in the old days, that would have been, somebody would have said, you can't do that because your poster would have to be a small poster, and that means going down from a big poster to a small poster, and you're not allowed to do that. So those sort of orthodoxies don't exist anymore, but, you know.
And so things like, you know, awards and in radio and stuff, was that just always a natural or an ideal offset, you know, but in the end the focus for you has always been on just your craft? And
I think for your own mental survival, that has to be central to what you do. Because you do your head in if you worry too much about the other stuff. But on the other hand, the other stuff's really important because that's about reaching people. And that's where you enlist other allies to help you. So any allies out there that want to help me, I'll give you my number. So 021. Oh,
that won't work over here. But
no.
04. But thanks so much for coming on the show, Don, and it's good to hear about I guess, you know, your journey a little bit, and good luck with the shows here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
BalconyTV.